Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Concerning piece of news for the Americans, the ones who love Biden and other things, and what's going on here? Biden wants to fly to Israel. I don't think he really wants. I think his advisors want him to fly there. So Biden will go to Israel. Well, I don't want to be too bad or too evil here, but I still remember that John F. Kennedy, that president, yes, he was advised to drive in Texas, in Dallas, with a how do you call it? A car, a certain kind of car, that would not be covered. Okay, so remember, he eventually picked this convertible limousine to drive through Dallas. He was not very, and some were not very happy about it for the reasons that then we found out, unfortunately, and you know what happened. Now they want to send Biden to Israel? What do you think could happen? Well, exactly. Remember, Hamas is not Russia, obviously. Why? If the Russians were informed by the Americans, hey, don't shoot, we're going to make this photo op for Biden showing up in Kiev. Everybody, please, Russians, don't shoot. Or maybe we'll fuck you up if you shoot, whatever it was. The Russians said, okay, well, we're not going to shoot, even though those sirens started wailing. There was another picture up for all of us to see. Oh my God, those Russians. No, it was all staged. Now, do you think that Hamas will just say, yes, we're not going to shoot, let Biden land in Tel Aviv or wherever? I don't think so. So maybe Biden will meet JFK soon in the same way. I hope not. I mean, whatever. So let's see this little article coming from Russia Today. It's from today, the 16th of October 2023. Biden wants to fly to Israel. Political reports. I don't think he wants to fly for there. I think some people want. Maybe we are going to have the first female black Indian president with relatives that owned slaves. Yes, Kamala's parents from, I think, her father's side, was it? They're from, when they're from Cuba, if I remember correctly, and they own slaves, or no, not Cuba, Haiti, I think. Right, Haiti, I think it was, and they owned slaves, and they were black, I think. Anyway, go check it out. Unlike Russia, during his trip to Kiev in February, Hamas may target the US president, sources told the outlet. But he is an courageous big man for the big guy, right? US President Joe Biden wants to accept an invitation by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to visit the country in a gesture of support. What's going on here? Remember when there was the disaster in Pennsylvania or Ohio where the train derailed? I can't remember exactly where. He didn't even show up there with those chemicals. It was the other thing in where was it with that fire that occurred. Where's that? In Hawaii, Maui, was it in Maui? In Hawaii, he didn't even show up over there. But hey, that's America. Doesn't this tell you something? Why this guy, just a question, why do you think this guy would risk his life to go over there? And why not, let's say, I don't know, to Yugoslavia? My friends, we know the answer. We can't say it, but we know it. That's good. Just keep it there and okay, that's the way it goes because we live in a free world with free speech. All right, now we got that covered. Let's move on. So, and besides, he's gonna meet Netanyahu. Netanyahu is supposed to be gone. This guy, this idiot, wants Netanyahu gone. So he has to go over there. I don't know how he's gonna end up. Maybe the Israelis is gonna take care of him, if you know what I mean. Well, but White House officials are concerned for his safety there. Politico has reported, citing two government officials in sources in Washington. The invitation was extended during a phone call on Saturday, and such a trip during Israel armed conflict with Hamas militants could become one of the highlights of the Biden presidency, similar to his February unannounced visit to Kiev. It was so unannounced that we all knew. The outlet reported on Sunday. Ahead of the Ukraine trip, the US had communicated to Russia to not interfere with Biden's travel plans. That means don't shoot it down. And while blaring sirens welcomed the US leader in Kiev, staged, when he met President Volodymyr. That's how I think. That's what I think. Why? Because they were not in a rush. If those sirens started wailing over there, the Secret Service of the United States of America would have gone, take this sack of bones up, and hide him in a bunker. That's how you do. So this is garbage. Again, with that video, if you remember, the famous video, supposedly live on camera, Biden being injected with that, COVID, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they did that. What if the guy would have died right there? I know, side effect or something. What do you think would have happened? These guys are the same thing with these guys when they sent to the moon, when they sent to space. These guys were and then they showed it, the successful one, not the one that came down burning or burned on the tamarack. Those were not shown. Read about them, okay? I'm not saying that happened, but now they come and say it. So, and they obviously they talk only about Gagarin. Yuri Gagarin. They don't talk about the moon. Nah. Only the Russians stage shit. We never. We have the Hollywood, but hey, no. Man, so naive, man. So naive. All right, so it says here, blaring sirens. Yeah, go and watch that video and see how he walks. Nobody cares. Nobody's in a rush. It was no surprise. I mean, you see the people around there when they start, woo, you see people should see this. Oh my God, hey, wait, what are we going to do? Nobody gets scared. Nobody gets a little bit, tense or anything. Do you think that's regular? Why did they bother to start the siren? An incoming missile, right? So then don't you think would be a certain one person in all those maybe at least 7 or 8 people in the frame that you see, none of them is in a hurry, nobody's jumping out, nobody gets hey, what are we doing, or anybody waiting to, everybody's that tells you a lot. It was fucking staged. If it wasn't, I don't even entertain that possibility, to be honest with you. So, where there was no sign of a Russian missile attack at the time, Western reporters were clear that there were no sign of a missile. Okay, Hamas, a group that the United States has designated a terrorist organization, would be more likely to take a provocative strike at a traveling president, the newspaper said, citing the opinion of an anonymous U.S. official. Several U.S. lawmakers, weasels, came and, went to Israel already. This guy goes goes over there. Anyway, let me give you this piece of information. Have you been to the White House? Well, I've been around. I haven't been inside. And the White House is very close to the roads. The helicopter, when it takes off from the lawn, White House lawn, is very low. It's very close to the streets, the buildings, to the cars. It's very close and flies low. It doesn't go straight up 3 kilometers and then goes somewhere else. So it takes off. Okay, that's how it goes. So it travels a very low altitude. Now, if you think that in Washington D.C. area, people could not get certain kind of weapons to commit a stupid act, then I don't know. You're naive. You're naive. There are certain points, certain areas where you can just, it's surveillance and all that. I get that. There's also surveyed, but still, what I want to say is I don't think the decision was made by the terrorists to attack Biden. That's what I think. Because I think if they really wanted, I think they could have, that's my assessment. I'm not talking about when he has a speech or something. When he takes off with the helicopter, that's another one. Or when he takes off when he lands in a country. Let's say he lands in a country on the airport. Where is that coming from? I mean, yeah, all that is surveillance. People are around and under surveillance and all that. But when the airplane lands, it flies low. These guys nowadays have all kind of shit from the Americans. Remember, they got the javelins ready. One of that, we can, that's one. Don't use the vampire. I think they're missiles as well, aren't they? Not rockets. Or missiles? No, they're rockets, I think. The vampire that these guys provided Ukraine, I think, with. If something like this is transported to Mexico and from Mexico crossed into the United States of America, do you think that it could not, and that hits kilometers far away? And you have my friends, if they got it in Ukraine over there, in Israel, it's very risky. I would say, why do you need to go over there? I mean, you're gonna get the money anyway, Biden. Don't worry about it. You're gonna get the money, if that's the problem. And the support, you're gonna get the support anyway. I mean, you have Zelensky. You propped Zelensky, Yermak, Zhmihal, and Reznikov for so long. So yeah, you check mark that big box, maybe the box, for being receiving all the media money and accepted and promotion and all that. So he shouldn't be concerned about that kind of help. So yeah, I don't know. I would be surprised if he goes over there. And then the thing is, why should an American president go over there? Why? Is that the 51st state or the 52nd now after Ukraine? Is it what it is? Well, it tells you something, my friends. It tells you the importance of certain things. Importance for them, not for us. They try to make it important to us, which is not, but they're not going to convince me, at least. But you have to be ecstatic at certain kind of news coming from that area, or be very empathetic. As far as I am, there is a classification. There are certain things that are number one, number two, number three, and this kind of things in the Middle East for me, come down after family, country, community, right? Country and so on. It's way down there. So this exaltation and fake support for something an entity that simply shouldn't have any value to regular Americans is made to be like the most important thing in everybody's life right now. Nobody goes to school, nobody goes to work. Pay your taxes though in the meantime, and keep your mouth shut unless you, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I witnessed this in Romania, communist Romania, where you were supposed to love Ceausescu and show enthusiasm towards his garbage visit to whatever factory or something like that. Okay, well, the same thing. It's just a fucking factory of many others, but at least those were Romanian factories. Here, this country or that country are separate countries. But yeah, that tells you who's got the grip. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.